Welcome everybody to the presentation of our article named Harnessing Coaching Skills for Children's Mental Health and Well-Being. Firstly, these are my co-authors, Petra and Timi. You can read about each one of us in the next 3 slides, and I would ask if you could do that on your own because I would like to talk more about our article. So here is something about Petra, also something about me, and something about Timi. Of course, emotional well-being is extremely important in general, but also highly important in educational context. And that's when we started to talk about coaching, which can be used as a tool to enhance both emotional and academic well-being of students in general, but we focused more on the ones in primary schools. Our article includes the literature review, and we talked about and described all of those topics. And I would quickly like to go over the literature review and put more emphasis on our research or our study. What even is coaching? When we talk about coaching, we're talking about coaching skills that refer to a set of techniques, approaches, and methods used by coaches. Those can be mentors, counselors, teachers, to support individuals in achieving their goals, developing their potentials, and also enhancing their effectiveness and success. There are many different types of coaching skills, but they mostly include goal setting, asking appropriate questions to stimulate thinking and reflection, also active listening, providing constructive feedback, and developing plans and strategies to achieve desired outcomes. Coaching is also applicable across different contexts and on many different fields. It has basically evolved from sports into a broader practice. It's mostly found in business consulting, personal development, education. It's also quite common in andragogy and other fields. The environment is very important for children's development, and that's where coaching comes into play because for a child, coaching is basically a part of his environment and it plays a crucial role, the environment, because the surroundings in which children grow up can significantly influence their physical, emotional, social, and also intellectual development. And just because of the importance of environment, it's important that the environment is supportive and stimulating for cognitive and emotional development of children because it plays a crucial role in developing both those aspects uh, in a child. There are many different studies on coaching and mental health, and one of the key benefits of coaching is its focus on developing self-awareness and emotional intelligence. And this is what we talk about in our study also, and I'll come to that in a bit. But even though there are many different researches on these topics, current studies have gaps. There are 3 gaps. First one is that current studies treat coaching as a universal method, meaning it's applicable no matter the age, no matter the place. They also focus on the short-term effects of coaching. Meanwhile, coaching should be also studied and examined long-term. And current studies also concentrate on the use of coaching in school contexts, whereas we know that coaching is and will be here in other fields too, other than just school contexts. That's why our study is important because it addresses these gaps. First, we put focus on the impact of coaching across 8 specific groups, meaning we studied the effects of coaching and their disparity between middle school and high school students. And our study is also a detailed analysis of the mechanisms of coaching. So now we got to our study. And first, our research question was, how does coaching impact students' emotional state and academic outcomes? We concluded 2 surveys, and in both of those surveys, we used quantitative methods. So one of our surveys was for students and the other one for teachers. We used quantitative approaches to understand students' emotional states and also the impact of coaching on their emotional well-being. And we also used statistical methods, so ANOVA, to assess changes in emotional states before and after the introduction of coaching. So firstly, we'll talk about our first survey, where we studied students' emotional states at the beginning and at the end of the school year. We, of course, first put out demographic questions. We were studying students from grades 8 and 9 from various primary schools across Slovenia, and we've had 1,740 respondents. The results from our first survey were that the most common emotional states at the beginning of the school year were worry and boredom. Some other emotional states were relaxation and a sense of control over their lives. And the most common emotional states at the end of the school year were worry still and relaxation. And other emotional states were boredom and a sense of control over their own lives. That's why we concluded that at the beginning of the school year, students reported emotional states related to worry, anxiety, boredom, and lower relaxation more frequently, and they struggled more with feelings of control over their lives and experienced numbness. Towards the end of the school year, there were slight shifts in emotional states, with decreases in worry, anxiety, boredom, and numbness, while feelings of relaxation and enthusiasm slightly increased. In regard to our second survey, we did a deeper insight into teachers' emotional states and their responses to the introduction of a new teaching method. We used questionnaires about teachers' emotional states and their readiness for innovations in the teaching process. And there were 485 teachers from various regions of Slovenia included. Our results from the second survey we did were that teachers are highly ready to adopt innovative approaches, which means that the implementation of coaching as a new teaching method in the school environment is needed because coaching is expected to elevate the satisfaction of the teaching staff, which could increase student motivation also and enhance emotional and academic development. If we conclude the results from both of our surveys, there is statistically significant improvements in students' emotional states and also high readiness of teachers to adopt coaching. There are also statistically significant differences in emotional states between the beginning and end of the school year, which means that the need for developing targeted coaching strategies in the school environment is getting bigger and bigger. And effective coaching programs could be the ones that could include measures to promote positive emotional states and reduce the negative impacts of prolonged stress among students. The result of our survey is also that the impact of coaching on students has shown a reduction in negative emotional states, while compared to the beginning of the school year, most students have shown increased levels of relaxation, and enthusiasm, indicating a positive effect of coaching on students' emotional well-being because by the end of the school year, there was less anxiety, boredom, and apathy. And that's how we concluded that coaching positively impacts academic performance of children. It also improves emotional well-being. It positively affects children's mental health and also significantly enhances students' emotional and academic states. We also proposed 5 strategies for implementing coaching techniques in educational practices that include several key steps aimed at facilitating effective integration of coaching into school environments and also contributing to the improvement of students' mental health and academic success. So the first strategy is teacher training, meaning that educational institutions should organize regular training sessions where teachers acquire necessary coaching skills. The second strategy is, of course, as I said before, supportive environment within schools, meaning that schools should strive to create an environment where students feel safe and heard, because environment is, as I've mentioned, very important for children's development. The third strategy is involving parents in the coaching process, because parents are the ones that play a crucial role in supporting children's development. That's why it's important to familiarize them with the goals and methods of coaching. The fourth strategy is, of course, regular monitoring and evaluation of the effects of coaching. They should be regularly monitored by collecting feedback from students, teachers, and also parents, meaning everybody who is involved in the process of coaching. And based on the feedback, coaching programs could be adjusted and improved. And the last, fifth strategy is developing innovative teaching methods. Schools should be the ones that encourage innovative teaching approaches and provide support for their implementation. So with our study, we are basically confirming the positive impact of coaching on the emotional and academic well-being of students. We are also recommending the integration of coaching into educational practices, and we also need teacher training in coaching skills, and we need to include parents in supporting coaching initiatives. There are still numerous areas that are open to further research on this topic that could deepen our understanding of the impact of coaching techniques on children's mental health. There is a need for longitudinal studies to assess the long-term effects of coaching on mental health and academic success of students. As I've said in the beginning, there are only researches that research the short-term effects. There is also the need for researching how various environmental factors affect the effectiveness of coaching techniques. And we also need to explore different variations in coaching effects across different age groups and socioeconomics backgrounds. And that would be all from us and our article, and thank you for listening.